It was celebration and a joyful moment when Olubunmi Familoni, the author of The Road Does Not End, was named the winner of the 2024 Nigeria Prize for Literature by NLNG. Familoni, whose book addresses the pressing issue of child labor in society, was one of the 3 finalists in this year's competition, which comes with a cash prize of $100,000.
Well, this year's prize focused on children's literature, highlighting stories that shape young minds as well. The 2 other shortlisted works were A Father's Pride by Ndidi Chiazo Enemo and Wish Maker by Uchechukwu Peter Umezurike. Well, to share the experience of being named the winner and share with us the journey to becoming the 2024 Nigeria Prize for Literature, we have Olubunmi Familoni, and of course, he's here to join us and to talk some more about the entire ordeal. Also, we have another special guest who actually joins us here. We also have NLNG's General Manager, External Relations, and not forgetting to Sustainable Development. I'm talking about Dr. Sophia Hossel, beg your pardon. She's here with us as well, and we'll be talking deeply about that. First of all, let me say welcome, lady, and of course, gentleman.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Morning, Joe, and morning, Asarage.
to
Such a
have you.
pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us.
Great, great. Permit me to, they say ladies first, but let me jump to the gentleman first. While he came into the studio, I remember I was teasing him that he's looking more relaxed. It's like the pressure is out now, so you're calm, ready to go. Tell us, what was it like when you were declared the winner for this year's event, the entire thing? You were declared the winner. How did it feel like for you?
I think you already mentioned some of it. There was a lot of pressure before. You know, when you get on the long list, there are 11 people there. I think you're not going to make it to the short list. And you get on the short list, I think that's even more pressure because now there are just 3 people. They say these are 3 of the best of the over 100 entries that were there. So I think most of the feeling is that pressure, that tension in the air. But after the announcement, I think apart from the joy, the euphoria, and all of that, is that ease that comes, like you said. So as I say, you clocked it, you know, just quite right. That yeah, there's a lot of ease now. There's a lot of calm. So the first thing that you feel after all the euphoria is just the ease. That okay, yeah, we're done with all of that. Let's move on from it.
Is there a certain edge that, you know, having gray hair gives in the writing skills? Because I remember Professor Wole Soyinka, you know, has, you know, pretty much the same thing. Is there a little edge that it gives?
Of course.
I have one here.
Maybe might help you.
You have a long way to go.
So let's talk about the book. The Road Does Not End.
Yeah.
You know, what inspired it, and you know, where did it come from?
Yeah, it came from seeing the problem out on the streets of a lot of children who are not in school. And like I always say, I think it's not something that we can pretend about. Everybody's familiar with the huge problem of out-of-school children. It has kind of become an emergency. Yeah, you know, right now, there was a time the government was working on increasing admission rates so that we get more children into school. So like, you know, I saw all of that, and this is not even something to do with just numbers. It's not a statistics problem.
Yeah.
There's a real problem out there on the streets. So you know, moving about every day, and I saw it, and I thought, when you look at, you know, the literature that we have in Nigeria, hardly people are not talking about this. Yeah, everybody's writing about, you know, what they like, and although it's not as if the literature is not fantastic, but you know, that particular problem is underrepresented, and I feel that okay, yeah, I mean, this is something, you know, that we can talk about.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Very interesting. Let's talk to Dr. Sophia Hossel now. What is the prize for literature for NLNG? What's it like? What's it for NLNG?
Oh, wow, great question, always. And, you know, for us in NLNG, our vision goes just beyond providing energy. It's about growth. It's about excellence. It's about inspiring a sustainable future, and it's about believing in a better Nigeria. And it is this vision that really underpins our various corporate social responsibility initiatives. And the Nigeria Prize for Literature, and indeed for Science, are our flagship projects. So what they do is essentially promote education, indeed elevate the need for literacy in our society, as well as just ensuring that intellectual and creative achievement in Nigeria is identified and celebrated. Now, specifically to the Nigeria Prize for Literature, it is what enables us to really promote Nigerian authors, really showcase their talent to what is a global audience, and then, of course, celebrate the excellence. So the $100,000 prize money really adds to the prestige. It helps you really foster that very competitive spirit, and a healthy one at that. But it also enables us to really showcase the best of what Nigeria has to offer. And we see with that we're able to fulfill the aspirations that our founding NLG leaders had, and also to nurture what we like to see as Nigerian excellence. So it does mean a lot to us.
Yeah, the Nigerian Prizes is one of your biggest CSR projects. It has, a 20-year, legacy that has been built so far. How do you see it evolve and going, further into the future from next year?
From next year, yeah, thank you. The Nigeria Prizes, it gives us so much pride. We are very proud of it. I even like to say that it gives me personally bragging rights. And, as we now look to the future, we really want to see the prizes grow in impact, locally, nationally, and internationally. We want to actually see to it that it becomes a globally recognized award, very much the way that we have the Nobel Prize or the Booker Prize. So as we go on, we want to just see that it gets a greater audience, greater impact. And what we hope is that through the prizes for literature and for science, that we're showcasing the best of science and literature, Africa to the world. So we see it as a way of generations, future generations of thinkers, creators, and innovators really being inspired. So that's our vision going on 20 years now and 20 years into the future.
20 years is actually no joke. It's a long time. But let me come to you, Mr. Familoni. A lot of persons who have read your book, The Road Does Not End, have said that the characters depicted in the book seem to be very real. Can you share with us, did you take some time, did you walk around, did you have like a tete-a-tete, an interview with a few persons to actually bring back this mindset of really talking about the educational system, the impoverishment of persons who do not have enough money to actually go to school and so on? Can you break that down for us? What inspired that?
I think as a writer, one of the first things that you have to have is the powers of observation. So you don't even necessarily have to sit down and have conversations with people. I think those powers of observation are also interaction in their own way as well. So they don't even have to know that you're there. You're just there, almost kind of like a fly on the wall. You're observing these things and you're taking note of them as well. So those are the things that eventually show forth in your work. So that's why when you pour them out in your work, they feel real. So it doesn't have to be a necessary interaction. You're having a conversation with them. So that was most of what I had done, apart from the fact that there was a little bit of having a chat here and there with some of these children, and just to know, because from observation you really can know that sometimes why you're not in school. Does it have to do with poverty? Does it have to do with some other kind of incapability as well? So have those conversations, but I think more importantly, also sit back and observe how they interact with the environment and how it all works as well.
Yeah, I think I like the fact that this seems to have achieved two things. First of all, a reward for your skill and your talent as a writer. But at the same time, to highlight the actual problem, which is the number of kids that we see, in traffic every day. If you drive around Lagos, they're everywhere, and it's heartbreaking. So I would give kudos to NLNG for, of course, what we've been able to achieve, with this. But tell us a little bit more about what happens next. Are there more stories that you're working on? Is there more things that you have been inspired by, to write about?
Well, that's a good question because a writer will always keep writing. I think it will even be a disservice to the craft if after winning this kind of award you stop writing. It will even almost look kind of silly, really. So, well, for me, I'm always writing. There's always, work in progress, as they say. So, even before this book had come out, there was
already something.
There was already something. Let the cat out of the bag. So, when it eventually comes out, everybody's going to see. But there's always, work in progress, and even after that, I think the writer just keeps writing. Really more inspiration as well.
Interesting. I have a few questions for you, though. That's, off the top of my head in terms of just coming into my mind right now. We do see where books are being transitioned into playwrights, stage plays, movies. I'm sure you'll be looking forward to that, right?
Yeah,
yes
adaptations
or no? Adaptations, yes.
Film adaptations.
Yes or no?
Yeah, having a few conversations about it.
Already, I see.
People see the book and they believe it's cinematic, so it should be represented on screen, whether as animation or whether just maybe even as a short film, as well. So there's definitely those prospects.
Nice. I'm sure you have a manager as well for that. I'm just asking. Let me come back to Dr. Hosford. Dr. Hosford, let's talk about the level of participation for the Nigerian Prize for Literature for 2024. And I just need to snip this in very quickly. Can a past winner still come back?
Thank you. Great question. In terms of the participation, it really has been impressive. The quality of work that we continue to see has been, just phenomenal. The interest in the social media space, it's always rife with activity, comment, conversation. Anytime we get to the stage gates, the various stage gates of the prize. So we're pleased about that. And, the participation, more importantly, has really raised the game in terms of writing, not just that, editing, proofreading, and even publishing. And then we find that we do have the usual governance around this, who can, come in to apply again. But I think the more important question is the participation is up there. It continues to increase. And we really see a great future for this prize. But more importantly, the impact it makes in Nigeria and internationally.
Yeah, I totally, appreciate. I think everyone should also appreciate, the fact that LNNG is also rewarding, skills, that to a large extent maybe a lot of people don't even talk about. So it's interesting and it's commendable to LNNG. Thank you very much to you both for stopping by, and congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Whenever I get more of these gray hairs, I'll see what I can write, see how inspirational it will be.